advertising specials. Book now and be wowed with party deals and good advertising coverage. Call our sales and marketing department on 440-8171 or via WhatsApp on 455-5718. You can also send an email at mtvmarketinggd@gmail.com. Terms and conditions apply.
A natural disaster can change your life in minutes. Preparation is the best protection for your family and business. Prepare now. Create a disaster plan and make sure everyone knows what to do. Store water, non-perishable food, and medication. Remember basic emergency supplies such as batteries and flashlights. Trim overhanging trees. If trees near power lines are unsafe to trim, call Grenlec at 237 for assistance or advice. Install surge protectors to safeguard your electrical devices against outages and intermittent surges. Make sure your generator has an isolation switch. It will prevent power from feeding to our lines and electrocuting others. For more information, visit grenlec.com.
Grenlec, energizing our Grenada.
Where are the facts to support your statement? Come on, let's be real about this. You have not answered the question. I'm going to pose it the second time to you.
Hello and welcome to the MTV Evening News for Tuesday, 30th May 2023. The news headlines come to you in association with Courts Grenada Limited.
Seriously, there's a better way to beat the heat. Get an air conditioning unit at Courts, starting at only $1,699. Inverter air conditioning units from $1,899. Plus, free installation with purchase. Get it today with no cash and pay over time. Protect your purchase with Super Shield extended warranty for up to 4 years. There's a better way to beat the heat. Courts, bringing value home. Conditions apply.
Coming up in the news tonight, police investigating weekend homicide. Major security breach investigated at the psychiatric hospital. Community activist calls on authorities to address the current trend of increased violence. And in sports, successful Whitsuntide Games and NACA combined events hosted over the weekend. The details when we come back.
The first segment of the MTV Evening News comes to you compliments Nexa Credit Union. With you wherever your road leads.
When you need someone to help you to your feet, I'll be that beacon to your highest peak. I'll be right next to you, no, I will never leave. Come on, take my hands, we got everything we need. Cause you can look to me, yes, I can. Whenever you're in need, yes, you can. Just call on me and I'll be on my way. I'll be by your side, never to divide. The light that shines our way. Wherever your road leads, we'll be right there with you. Wherever your road leads, we'll make your dreams come true.
Nexa Credit Union, with you wherever your road leads.
Good evening. With the news in detail, I am Troy Gill. Police are investigating a homicide that took place in St. Patrick over the weekend. The victim is Knoxford Smith, a 36-year-old construction worker of Riversally. Smith received an injury to the neck from a sharp instrument. One male is in custody assisting with investigations. However, up until news time, there was no confirmation of charges being laid by police as investigations in the matter continue. Grenada has seen an increase in homicides recorded in the country for the year so far compared to the same period in 2022. On May 12, 2023, police proceeded to the home of Lenny Ross, a 59-year-old farmer at Concord, St. John. On arrival, they observed the body of Ross laying inside of his house. He had multiple chop wounds on his body. He was pronounced dead by the medical doctor. On Thursday, 11th May 2023, officers responded to a report of a house fire at Vendome St. George. On arrival, they observed a wooden structure fully engulfed in flames. When detectives arrived on the scene, they observed the body of Jason Joseph laying in a drain alongside the public road away from his dwelling house. He was pronounced dead by the doctor, and one man is charged with his death. Meanwhile, police are still in search of Dwayne MacDonald, 46 years old, of Busejo, Carriacou. MacDonald is wanted by police for questioning in connection with the offense of murder. Local community activist in the Big Parish says he has observed an increase in violent activities among youth and juveniles in Grenville and surrounding communities, which is a major cause for concern, and is calling on the authorities to address the issue to prevent a further escalation of this current trend.
Community activist and resident of Telescope St. Andrew, Mike Noel, is concerned over the increase in violence among the youth in Grenville and surrounding communities in recent times. In an earlier report, one young woman from Soubise, St. Andrew, was fearing for her life following what is alleged to be gunmen attempting to enter her home and firing gunshots in search of her sons over a previous altercation. Speaking to MTV News by phone on Monday, Noel said it appears that gangs and gang mentality has resurfaced, leading to skirmishes in various communities.
Well, for example, in most of the communities, we have groups warring against groups. We have chopping incidents, we have fighting incidents, we have some incidents where firearm is being pulled. And when this incident happen, like for example, they utilize St. Andrew's area. We have youths from Telescope, my area, will be in a problem with some youths from Soubise area and Marquis area.
He believes that the first approach in curbing this latest increase in violence is engaging parents and guardians, including those who may be in denial over their children's involvement in such activities.
I believe myself that what we need to do, first of all, we need to have a dialogue with the parents, serious dialogue with the parents of the youths of our communities, our surroundings. Because remember, anything you do, you have a home to go to. You must go home. And home will not reject you. No matter what you do, home will not reject you. So we need to let the parents come to the highest level of security.
A preventative approach must be taken by the authority, he says, especially for the young men who are finding themselves on the wrong side of the law.
In regards to correcting this, I believe the government, the Minister of National Security, and most of those high-ranking officers need to come down to that stage and have a meeting and discuss ideas that...
Recently, 4 young men from St. Andrew were jointly charged for the offense of rape, with one of the young men charged with robbery with violence, damage to property, and stealing. For MTV News, I am Donella Hostan.
Police are investigating a gun incident at the Mount Gay facility in St. George. The incident happened on Thursday, May 25th. MTV News understands that a male packed a loaded gun together with food and clothes in a bag for the mentally ill patient at the hospital. However, the individual says the gun appeared there by mistake. More in this report.
Police are investigating an incident relating to a loaded firearm that was found in the possession of an inmate at the Mtv Psychiatric Hospital last Thursday. There have been more questions than answers in this developing story, and all calls to the relevant authorities proved futile. MTV News placed several calls to the Royal Grenada Police Force on this incident. However, they were unable to deliver an official release. However, they did confirm that the incident took place. MTV News reached out to clinical psychologist Dr. Augustine Pancho on this event, who says this is a sad occurrence for both the nurses and the patients.
An institution or facility that takes care of patients who are suffering from mental health deficits are usually very alert and or are required to stay alert, to be very vigilant in their supervision and administration of services for this group of clients. Because very often with mental health challenges, these are patients who are not thinking logically. They have cognitive deficits. They might be hearing voices, especially if they are diagnosed with schizophrenia. So they might be hearing things that are not real. They might be seeing things that are not real. Who deal with these clients on a day-to-day basis? So hearing that a patient had a gun in his possession brings or establishes a state of insecurity and fear among the staff to start off with.
He spoke of the importance of mental health training and security in establishments like these.
So the situation at the Mtv Psychiatric Facility opens up for us some very serious questions about the security, questions about training, questions about personnel, and how they handle incoming parcels and packages from outside to residents on the inside. Is there enough training? Is there enough vigilance? Is there enough personnel to man and to ensure that dangerous weapons are detected and are found before they get into the hands of residents?
Reporting for MTV News, I am Tonya St. Louis.
An officer within the RGPF says the spillage of gravel along the nation's roads is a dangerous practice that can lead to accidents, and truck operators who do not secure their cargo can be found to be in breach of the law. The spillage of gravel continues to be a concern for motorists, especially along Marist Hill and Luther's Lane, St. George, an area frequently traversed by truck operators carrying gravel from Gravel and Concrete Aggregates Company. Speaking to our news team on Friday, officer attached to the traffic department of the Royal Grenada Police Force, Corporal Troy Paul, said they have noticed an increase in recent times.
We're seeing it prevalent along, especially Marist Hill, Louters Lane, and these areas. And these areas are hilly, and it is dangerous. Even in a flat area, it's dangerous, but more so, these areas are hilly, as I stated, and imagine traveling along your destination and to come across gravel, sand, or whatever these aggregates are, and you have to stop in those areas. It will be difficult for drivers to do so.
One of the factors Troy revealed are that truck operators are exceeding the maximum weight.
Because we see from time to time a lot of these trucks carrying those loads, they're exceeding the height of the tray of those trucks. Some of the drivers are saying that, especially the gravels and so on, are seeping through the areas such as the trays and the side of the trucks. But at the end of the day, they are responsible for their load that they carry.
There are certain precautionary measures operators must employ, Paul says, or they can be found to be in breach of the law.
One of the things that is required by law is for those trucks and vehicles to cover their load and cover it properly, secure it properly, so that it wouldn't fly off and so on. But from time to time, we're seeing a lot of the trucks are not covering the load. Failing to cover gravel and sand, it is an offense, and you can be charged or be summoned for that offense and taken to court where you can be answered. You can answer a charge.
A local public health specialist says the current outbreak of dengue cases can also be attributed to the lack of adherence to public health measures as people continue to let down their guard following the COVID-19 pandemic. The Ministry of Health is now reporting 79 new cases of dengue, with 2 hospitalized, and continue to launch a vigorous campaign encouraging the public to play their role in eradicating mosquito breeding sites. However, local medical practitioner and public health specialist Dr. Francis Martin believes there is another factor at play. Speaking to Mtv News on Tuesday, Martin says people were more vigilant during the pandemic period.
Empirically, dengue, as I said, is a vector-borne disease, and it could have meant that coming out of the pandemic, people were a little bit more health conscious during that time. People became more aware of health implications of things, and so people were taking more precautionary measures. Coming out of the pandemic, there's a new lease on life. People have taken, everything now is trying to get back to as normal as possible. Unfortunately, coming out of the pandemic, getting back to normal as possible mean that people have stopped taking the kind of health precautionary measures that they used to take during the pandemic. And that include ensuring that the chances of vector-borne vectors decreases. So I think it's general human behavior, indiscriminate dumping. We have more of the constructions going around, no businesses are going around, and so cleanliness becomes a problem. And to my mind, that is what is different from the pandemic days to now.
Given that dengue is vector-borne, the current trajectory is likely to increase, which is a continued cause for concern, given that there are different types of dengue that are more severe.
The public health implications of dengue is that it has the capability for a lot of people to become infected because it's vector-borne, especially if it is in areas where mosquitoes are allowed to breed. And the more breeding spaces you have for mosquitoes, the more chances of someone becoming infected with dengue. Dengue in and of itself is a self-limiting disease in the sense that you're going to get better, but the point is there are some types of dengue that can be very deadly. The hemorrhagic type dengue is one that's really difficult, and that's the one you want to guard against. The point is you don't know which one you got, so it's important that we try to keep the entire mosquito population down.
With 2 cases now hospitalized, if people don't adjust their behaviors, it can continue to put a strain on the public healthcare system, Martin affirms.
If perchance the hemorrhagic type is there or you get really severe cases of dengue, then it also has the potential for having more pressure to already difficult public health system or health situation on the ground. So those are the kind of things I would really like people to act against.
That's the first segment of news. More news when we come back.
The first segment of the MTV Evening News came to you in association with Nexa Credit Union, with you wherever your road leads.
For when you need someone to help you to your feet, I'll be that beacon to your highest peak. I'll be right next to you, no, I will never leave. Come on, take my hands, we got everything we need. Cause you can look to me, yes, I can. Whenever you're in need, yes, you can. Just call on me and I'll be on my way. I'll be by your side, never to divide. The light that shines our way. Wherever your road leads, we'll be right there with you. Wherever your road leads, we'll make your dreams come true. Next side, next side, next side, right next to you.
Nexa Credit Union, with you wherever your road leads.
Make money, money, money. $3,000 every week for 3 months.
What?
Yes, it's the NLA's Crazy Cash Giveaway Promotion. Every week from April 11th to June 30th, 3 lucky Daily Games customers will randomly win $1,000 each week. Imagine winning as much as $36,000 in 12 weeks.
How?
Spend $12 in a single purchase on Daily Cash 4, Daily Pick 3, or Playway. Look for the words Cash Winner on your tickets to collect $1,000. The more you spend $12 on your favorite daily games, the more chances you have to win. Must be 18 or older to participate. All prizes must be collected by July 7th, 2023. Other terms and conditions apply. See stores for details. NLA, making your dreams come true.
Money, money, money.
When a loved one passes on, we all need the comfort, support, and guidance of a trusted friend. You can rely on LaCour Brothers Funeral Home. We provide a personalized professional service that exceeds all expectations. Our dedicated staff responds to your every need with the greatest detail, ensuring affordability with a variety of options. Our upgraded state-of-the-art facilities, spacious air-conditioned chapel with live internet streaming, a modern, environmentally safe crematorium, the only of its kind on island, private viewing spaces, large on-site repast center, a modern transportation fleet. Join our burial society today and make personalized arrangements for that final moment. As you prepare to enter your loved one into eternal rest, visit or call LaCour Brothers Funeral Home and select a package that brings added comfort to the entire family. LaCour Brothers Funeral Home and Burial Society, continuing a tradition of excellence.
Box some money. Box some money. Ladies and gentlemen,
are you ready to win?
Sunday, June 4th from 5 p.m. at the National Stadium is Box and Money.
What is Box and Money?
Box and Money is the most exciting bingo game ever. Picture this: 15 bingo games, $100,000 in a box, and you decide your winnings. This is gonna be pure fun and excitement. Tickets cost $60 for one or $100 for two. Don't you dare miss this one. Box and Money, $100,000 in cash. June 4th, National Stadium, Grenada. Get ready.
In our part of the world, we need to be prepared for natural disasters like storms and hurricanes, even outside of the season. I'm sure you'll agree that keeping our loved ones, homes, and businesses safe is important. So, I came up with a few quick tips to help you stay safe. Familiarize yourself with your electrical panel, as it may be necessary to switch off the power during a storm or flood. Make sure you install a transfer or isolation switch to prevent your generator feeding electricity to Grenlec's line. If trees are too close to power lines, call Grenlec at 237 for advice. By following these easy steps, you will be well on your way to being hurricane ready. Don't be caught off guard by natural disasters. Prepare now. For more information, visit grenlec.com.
It's the 4th edition of Hubbard's Live Free for 1 year promotion, Cuatro Punto Cero. It's unbelievably amazing. You can win free fuel, free drinks, cash prizes, free property and vehicular insurance, free cable, TV and internet, free electricity, free coke, free water, free cooking gas, free paint supplies, free passes to Sunshine Promotion events for 2023, free groceries, all for 1 whole year. And every winner receives a lunch package. Be sure to fill out the entry forms and enter it into the marked entry boxes at all Hubbard's departments and at participating outlets. Promotion runs from April 1st to September 30th, 2023. Draws will be held every 2 weeks. Terms and conditions apply.
Welcome back. Under the theme Supporting the Fighter and Honoring the Fallen, Just Sports hosted its annual Lupus Walk on Sunday morning, creating awareness and supporting individuals living with lupus in Grenada. May is celebrated as Lupus Awareness Month. It's a time when the lupus community joins together to raise awareness of the physical, emotional, and economic impact of lupus while raising funds to support lupus research, care and support services, and educational resources and programs. The walk took place from Tantine through the town of St. George, around the National Stadium and back to the Roy St. John playing field. Lester Smith is the CEO of Just Sports.
Well, Just Sports organizes a series of walks, and these walks are geared at sensitizing, creating an awareness for different areas. We did sickle cell before, we did the prostate cancer walk, so we did even this one, lupus, before. So this time around again, we come to the Lupus Society and let people know that lupus is there, and they are fighters, they are warriors, and they need our support, they need our love. And so this morning walks again to create awareness in Grenada that there are a lot of people with lupus condition, that autoimmune disease condition that affects their organs, that affects. In fact, doctors sometimes give them time to live, and we say, hey, if such is the case, let's love them, let's care for them. And so this morning walk again is to create an awareness that we love the Lupus Society. They are fighters. And even the fallen, we honor the fallen ones. So the theme for this year is supporting the fighters, honoring the fallen.
The walk started at 6:30 a.m. Smith highlighted why the time of the walk was so important.
Well, we chose early in the morning because if you know lupus persons, the sun is not good for them. So we chose an early morning walk and the weather is just fine this morning. A little drizzle, but it's just fine weather this morning. So we chose morning period so that these people can actually enjoy the walk. And the walk is not hard. It's from here, Tantine, to the stadium and back, flat surface, no big set of hills, to the stadium and back. And then when they come back, we have breakfast with them.
Saturday, 27th May 2023, saw 12 youngsters, 7 females and 5 males, vying for the title of Little Mr. and Miss Grenada 2023. The coveted crowns were taken by Jayla Macmillan, Little Miss St. Andrew, and Jadon St. John from Mount Morris, St. George. For the girls, Miss St. Patrick, Anilla Phillip, and Miss St. David, Angel Allard, placed 2nd and 3rd respectively. Placing 2nd in the boys was Malik John, Mount Horn St. Andrew, while Richard Williams, Grand Mall St. George, placed 3rd. Here are some highlights from Saturday's pageant.
Interstellar King. It is the year 4040. Other life forms exist. Traveling into space has become like taking a bus to school. The kids of this time are far.
Stylistic vision is limitless. Jenna draws on the black in her futuristic way to pay homage to the African ancestors who paved the way and whose sacrifice.
Maybe you just want to ring. little angels are special.
Petite Martinique successfully hosted a number of visitors on the weekend as the island staged its annual regatta festival. Details in this report.
Petite Martinique was buzzing with activities on the weekend as the annual regatta festival took the spotlight. The event commenced on Friday with an opening ceremony and cultural performances that captured the attention of those in attendance. The Grenada Tourism Authority provided some financial injection into the festivity. Sales and Marketing Manager at the GTA, Nicoyan Roberts, during the opening ceremony said the authority remains committed to preserving festivals like these.
The GTA, the Grenada Tourism Authority, remains committed to this business sponsorship of this special heritage event. We have sponsored it for so many years, I think for the past maybe 20 or more of the 36 years that this event has been in existence. And when I boarded the Osprey, I saw, as usual, there was an extremely heavy capacity complement of locals, visitors, members of the diaspora on board. And what absolutely thrilled me was getting to Carriacou, getting to Tyrrell Bay, to Harvey Vale, and seeing only about 20% of the passengers disembark. I got very excited because I realized that 80% of the capacity of the boat was headed to Petite Martinique.
Parliamentary representative for Carriacou and Petite Martinique, the Honourable Tevin Andrews, said for the event to develop, everyone must be part.
I want to encourage the residents of Petite Martinique in whatever way you can, those of you home and abroad, to continue to support, continue to get involved, to build on this tradition. Continue to get involved in your community so that we can continue to foster community development. Because in order for Petite Martinique to grow, you must get involved in its development.
Representing the Ministry of Culture was Senator Quince Britton.
We as a government continue to put policies in place that will help build, boost and bolster activities and community groups and national traditional festivals like these.
Kishon Thomas, MTV News.
On Sunday, the lands in Guave, St. John was transformed into a family-friendly fun zone as the Ministry of Social and Community Development hosted its West Side Street Fiesta, bringing together families within the parish. Sunday's fiesta saw the Ministers for Social and Community Development and the Parliamentary Representative for St. John addressing the gathering on the important role family plays in the development of the community. We get more in this report.
International Family Day was instituted by the United Nations General Assembly in 1994, and this was to recognize the importance of family in society and also to ensure that we have an understanding of the role that family play in society. Family is the bedrock of society. Our society is an indication of the type of families we have in society.
That was Minister of State with responsibility for the Ministry of Social and Community Development, Honorable Gloria Thomas, speaking at the ministry's West Side Street Fiesta Family Fun Day on Sunday in Guave, St. John. Honorable Thomas encouraged parents to come together as they continue to build their families.
So parents, Today we are here to sensitize you as to the role that you can play so we can have a better society. The family is the source of social life. So whatever you do at home, it spills over to society. We have schools where we teach children values and ethics to take them through life. But the family is the first teacher of the children and of society.
She also commended the people of St. John for their support in this venture. Also sharing brief remarks was a parliamentary representative for St. John, Honorable Kireen James.
As adults in this place, we are to lead and set the bar high for generations to come. We in Guelph, we have a unique blend of different family households here. And yes, the traditional family or definition of a family may not represent who we really are. But at this point, I just want to make some noise, and I want you to join on with me to make some noise for the strong women who are heading their households in Guelph and St. John.
The day's event saw a number of activities, including cultural entertainment, giveaways, games, health checkups, and much more family-based activities. Reporting for MTV News, I am Donella Hosten.
That's the second segment of news. Regional highlights are up next.
Big money, money, money. $3,000 every week for 3 months.
What?
Yes, it's the NLA's Crazy Cash Giveaway Promotion. Every week from April 11th to June 30th, 3 lucky Daily Games customers will randomly win $1,000 each week. Imagine winning as much as $36,000 in 12 weeks.
How?
Spend $12 in a single purchase on Daily Cash 4, Daily Pick 3, or Playway. Look for the words Cash Winner on your tickets to collect $1,000. The more you spend $12 on your favorite daily games, the more chances you have to win. Must be 18 or older to participate. All prizes must be collected by July 7th, 2023. Other terms and conditions apply. See stores for details. NLA, making your dreams come true. Money, money, money.
At Bailey's Funeral Home, we understand the pain and grief you experience when you suffer the loss of a loved one. For years, we have helped thousands of families get through that difficult time by providing professional funeral services to meet their unique needs. Whether your choice is cremation or burial, call us or come into our new facility on the Carenage and meet with our arrangers in a spacious and comfortable environment. Choose from a wide variety of quality coffins and caskets at prices from as low as $1,900. At Bailey's Funeral Home, we believe that no one should feel overwhelmed or anxious about funeral expenses. So when it's time to plan a funeral, join a burial society, or make pre-arrangements when service and costs matter, call Bailey's Funeral Home at 440-2558 or visit us at baileysfuneralhome.org. Bailey's Funeral Home, still providing the perfect tribute any family can afford.
Come home to Coats Ready Cash and get ready for Carnival with a loan of $3,000 or more, and you're paying nothing for 60 days. Plus, you could be eligible for a reduced interest rate. So don't miss out. Get Carnival ready with flexible payment terms, hassle-free service, and fast approval. Now, all you need is your ID, proof of address, payslip, job letter, 2 references. That's it. Apply now. Visit shopcoats.com. Come home to Coats Ready Cash. We're ready when you are. Conditions apply.
Everybody push something in the air now. Box some money. Box some money. Ladies and gentlemen,
are you ready to win?
Sunday, June 4th from 5 p.m. at the National Stadium is Box and Money.
What is Box and Money?
Box and Money is the most exciting bingo game ever. Picture this: 15 bingo games, $100,000 in a box, and you decide your winnings. This is gonna be pure fun and excitement. Tickets cost $60 for one or $100 for two. Don't you dare miss this one. Box and Money, $100,000 in cash. June 4th, National Stadium, Grenada. Get ready.
Building resilience is the responsibility of us all. That means planning in the event of more frequent and intense storms. Introducing a new product called Flexible Hurricane Protection, FHP. FHP provides protection against tropical storms through to Category 5 hurricanes. If a storm covered by your policy impacts your island, you get a payout automatically. No assessors, no adjusters. Pick the amount of coverage you need. Use the funds however you want to cover lost income, replace damaged equipment or crops, rebuild your business, or carry out quick repairs to your home. Getting started is easy. Simply visit www.corpefinsurance.com to select the coverage that's right for you or choose an annual premium that fits your budget. Pay the annual premium at your credit union before 1st June. It's that simple. Make FHP a key part of your yearly hurricane plan.
The third segment of MTV News is brought to you in association with Arise Credit Union. Your financial freedom, your future.
Request, repay, repeat with Arisa's FlexiCredit Evergreen Loan Facility. Qualify for a FlexiCredit with limits up to $25,000 or use your home equity to qualify for more. Extra cash at your fingertips whenever you need it. Accessed using your debit card and managed using AMI, Arisa's mobile internet experience app. FlexiCredit allows you the flexibility to top up to your approved limit any day, anytime. Already a member? Send us a WhatsApp on 423-4987. New members join today to apply. Request, repay, repeat. Use your FlexiCredit for vacations, shopping, wedding, general expenses, and more. Arisa loan terms and conditions apply. Arisa Credit Union. Your financial freedom, your future.
Oslin Crosby has this evening's regional roundup.
And now for this evening's regional roundup, I'm Oslin Crosby. We start off in Guyana, where a teenage student who police in Guyana accused of deliberately setting fire in a girls' dormitory that killed 18 schoolmates and a 5-year-old boy was charged Monday as an adult with 19 counts of murder. The 15-year-old girl appeared virtually at the hearing in a court south of the capital, Georgetown, and was ordered held in custody pending further court proceedings. Investigators allege she ignited a blaze at Medea Secondary School on May 21 in anger with the administrator over the confiscation of her mobile telephone. The government boarding school serves remote indigenous villages in the country's southwest. The defendant was not allowed to plead to the charges and will make a second court appearance on July 5th when state and defense attorneys will indicate if they are ready to start a preliminary trial. If found guilty, the defendant could face life in prison. The police constable who was last night killed remotely by his wife at his home in Somerset District, Manchester, was not only shot but also hit with a hammer. The cop, 41-year-old Damien Blair, was killed during a domestic dispute, the police confirmed in a release on Tuesday. Reports from the Mandeville police are that about 6:25 p.m., Blair was reportedly shot inside his home by his wife. He ran from the house but collapsed at his gate, where further wounds were inflicted on him with a hammer, the police said. His colleagues were summoned, and upon their arrival, Blair was seen lying in a pool of blood. His wife was found inside the house, also in a pool of blood, with a laceration to her wrist, the police said. They were both taken to hospital, where Blair was pronounced dead and his widow admitted in stable condition. On Tuesday, the police high command expressed condolences to Blair's family, friends, and colleagues. Prime Minister Gaston Brown has urged former employees of the cash-strapped regional airline Liat 174 to accept his administration's compassionate offer, while accusing their representative, the Antigua and Barbuda Workers' Union, ABWU, of engaging in politics. The union continues to play politics. They are driven by the politics, and they well know that government does not owe the staff of Liat, and what they need to do now is to put some pressure on the union to accept the 32% said Brown, speaking on his weekly radio program. The Antigua and Barbuda government had initially offered the workers a 50% compassionate payment, but more than 90% of the workers rejected the offer. Brown, who is finance minister, has in the past reiterated his position that regional governments have a moral obligation to treat the issue of severance payment to former employees, even as two shareholder governments have paid their nationals. And that's your regional roundup this evening. I'm Arcelin Crosby.
This is the MTV Evening News. More news when we come back.
The third segment of MTV News was brought to you in association with Arise Credit Union. Your financial freedom, your future.
Request, repay, repeat with Ariza's FlexiCredit Evergreen Loan Facility. Qualify for a FlexiCredit with limits up to $25,000 or use your home equity to qualify for more. Extra cash at your fingertips whenever you need it. Accessed using your debit card and managed using AMI, Ariza's mobile internet experience app. FlexiCredit allows you the flexibility to top up to your approved limit any day, anytime. Already a member? Send us a WhatsApp on 423-4987. New members join today to apply. Request, repay, repeat. Use your FlexiCredit for vacations, shopping, wedding, general expenses, and more. Ariza loan terms and conditions apply. Ariza Credit Union. Your financial freedom, your future.
You're watching the MTV Evening News. Sports is up next.
Big money, money, money. $3,000 every week for 3 months.
What?
Yes, it's the NLA's Crazy Cash Giveaway Promotion. Every week from April 11th to June 30th, 3 lucky Daily Games customers will randomly win $1,000 each week. Imagine winning as much as $36,000 in 12 weeks.
How?
Spend $12 in a single purchase on Daily Cash 4, Daily Pick 3, or Playway. Look for the words Cash Winner on your tickets to collect $1,000. The more you spend $12 on your favorite daily games, the more chances you have to win. Must be 18 or older to participate. All prizes must be collected by July 7th, 2023. Other terms and conditions apply. See stores for details. NLA, making your dreams come true. Money, money, money.
Larry, I love the new home. Did you remember the tips we discussed?
As a matter of fact, they were very helpful. We always follow the manufacturer's guidelines, check for damaged cords, turn off electrical equipment before cleaning, and we never overload sockets.
And we always use a licensed electrician for electrical work and a certified technician for repairs.
Grenlink, energizing our Grenada.
What does it take to be an amazing woman? Lots of me time. Amazing women are classy, fancy, and a little sassy. It's the drink for me. Cheers! Sometimes you've got to show them who's boss. Alpha male? Nah, alpha females are more amazing. Cheers to securing the bag. We make time for ourselves, for work, friends, and we certainly make time for passion. We're simply amazing. Amazing cream liqueur for the amazing woman in you.
Building resilience is the responsibility of us all. That means planning in the event of more frequent and intense storms. Introducing a new product called Flexible Hurricane Protection, FHP. FHP provides protection against tropical storms through to Category 5 hurricanes. If a storm covered by your policy impacts your island, you get a payout automatically. No assessors, no adjusters. Pick the amount of coverage you need. Use the funds however you want to cover lost income, replace damaged equipment or crops, rebuild your business, or carry out quick repairs to your home. Getting started is easy. Simply visit www.corpefinsurance.com to select the coverage that's right for you or choose an annual premium that fits your budget. Pay the annual premium at your credit union before 1st June. It's that simple. Make FHP a key part of your yearly hurricane plan.
It's the 4th edition of Hubbard's Live Free for 1 year promotion. Cuatro Punto Cero. It's unbelievably amazing. You can win free fuel, free drinks, cash prizes, free property and vehicular insurance, free cable, TV and internet, free electricity, free coke, free water, free cooking gas, free paint supplies, free passes to Sunshine Promotion events for 2023, free groceries, all for 1 whole year. And every winner receives a lunch package. Be sure to fill out the entry forms and enter it into the marked entry boxes at all Hubbard's departments and at participating outlets. Promotion runs from April 1st to September 30th, 2023. Draws will be held every 2 weeks. Terms and conditions apply.
Do you have or plan to start a business or project in the agribusiness, tourism, health and wellness, ICT, or energy sectors? You too can qualify for investment incentives such as duty-free concessions, tax credits, and tax waivers and exemption. Just fill in the application form, submit all the relevant documents, and your application can be processed in as little as 7 days. It's that simple. Contact us today to know more about investment incentives.
Successful with Suntide Games and NACA combined events hosted over the weekend. That story and more coming up in sports.
The MTV Evening Sports is brought to you in association with Courts, bringing value home.
Your vision is our mission at Kurtz Optical. Shop today for up to 25% off. And with Ready Finance, pay nothing for 30 days. Book your free eye examination appointment online at www.kurtzoptical.com. Your vision is our mission. Up to 25% off your completed eyewear. Only at Kurtz Optical. Value you can see. Conditions apply. See in-store for details.
Now here is Donnella Hostin with this evening's sporting highlights.
Good evening, sporting fans. It was an exciting 2 days at the Kirani James Athletic Stadium over the weekend in the Whitsuntide Games and the NACAC combined events, where local, regional, and international athletes competed to improve their distance and times. The public relations officer of the Grenada Athletic Association, Kwame Hippolyte, spoke to MTV Sports on Tuesday about the weekend's sporting event.
Well, the games went very well. We saw 5 young ladies competing in the NACA combined events heptathlon. From that standpoint of things, the competitors really loved the environment and the whole atmosphere for the competition and the provisions that were put in place for them to ensure the successful completion of the event. In addition to that, we saw some outstanding performances by budding athletes within the region, notably some of our local athletes, as well as the number of athletes from St. Vincent and the Grenadines. We also, from our standpoint, was really happy that the national teams, the national team of for the 4x1 under 20, as well as the senior men, was able to successfully compete and have a time posted for the season, as well as the national 4x4 team.
The Grenada National Basketball Association is having a 3x3 series tournament for basketballers under the age of 16, 18, 20, and 23. The first leg of the game will be at the Grenville Basketball Court on June 3rd. The second leg will be at the Carenage Basketball Court on June 10th, and the third leg will be at the Guave Basketball Court on June 17th. The technical director of the Grenada National Basketball Association is Kester Elcock.
3x3 is one of the most recent formats of FIBA basketball. It is part of the Youth Olympics, part of the Olympics that was held in Japan. And what we're doing is getting our athletes ready for the series next year. So what has to be done is that 12 months prior to the qualifications for Pan Am Sports or for CAC games or for any FIBA 3x3 tournament, you have to participate in the tournaments the year prior to. So what we have to do is that we're putting on a series of 3x3 challenges to help our youth qualify for a FIBA tournament next year.
Barbados completed the double by capturing the Cricket West Indies Women's T20 Blaze by defeating Leeward Islands by 8 wickets on the final day of the competition on Saturday. Entering the match at Warner Park level with Guyana on 12 points and needing a victory to secure the title, Barbados chased down 122 to complete their all-important fourth victory of the tournament with 15 balls to spare. Last week, they won CG United Super 50 title. At the St. Paul's Sports Complex, Guyana sensationally defended a score of just 39 to come away with a nail-biting one-run victory over Trinidad and Tobago and finished level on points with Barbados. However, Barbados were adjudged winners, having won the head-to-head clash by 3 wickets in the second round last Sunday. And that's it for this evening's sports. I am Donella Hostan.
That's the sports, the weather, and a recap of the headlines when we come back.
The MTV Evening Sports was brought to you in association with Quartz, bringing value home.
MTV Weather Report comes to you in association with Grenlec, energizing our Grenada.
We believe in possibilities. We are strong. Together, we are Grenada.
Good Tuesday evening, viewers. Back with your nighttime weather forecast and meteorologist Dwayne Williams. Mostly scattered showers throughout the island today, as an area of cloudiness ahead of an approaching tropical wave made its way towards the islands. That wave is expected to maybe impact the weather by Friday, mostly by Friday, but we already are seeing some of the cloudiness ahead of it, bringing those showers. We have a second wave in the mid-Atlantic continuing to head towards the islands, and no development with that as yet, and still another much further back, not too long off the African coast. So we have lots of activity in the Atlantic already. We're keeping our eyes on those to see how they will develop. At the moment, we can see the cloudiness ahead of the approaching wave. We saw quite a bit of those showers were a bit heavy today, but they were very brief. That pattern is going to continue into tonight. We're going to see brief lull in the showers during the early part of the night, but after midnight they're going to expect it to pick up in intensity and frequency. And that is the forecast for Tuesday night. Scattered showers mostly after midnight. A bit of moonlight to enjoy. The moon rose this afternoon at 2:34. It's going to set tomorrow morning at 2:45. Southeasterly winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. Minimum temperature of around 24, and there's a 70% chance of those showers occurring. On Wednesday, isolated showers, mostly in the morning period, though. Winds would remain southeasterly between 12 and 22 miles per hour with moderate seas and 4 to 6 foot waves. The sun is going to rise at 5:41 and set at 6:28. Temperature will climb to around 31 and feel like 33. Showers in Port of Spain and Bridgetown tomorrow. Thunder showers likely in Kingston and Miami. Sunshine for New York. Partly cloudy skies in London. There's a chance that we could see one or two isolated showers on Thursday, but expect the showers to increase in frequency on Friday, Saturday, possibly into Sunday, but more partly cloudy conditions can be expected on Sunday, improving from Monday through to the middle of the week. That is it for me for Tuesday night, folks. Have yourself a great night. Join me again on Wednesday.
MTV Weather Report was brought to you in association with Grenlec, energizing our Grenada.
Now to end the news, a recap of the headlines. Police are investigating weekend homicide. Major security breach investigated at the psychiatric hospital. Community activist calls on authorities to address the current trend of increased violence. And in sports, successful Whitsuntide Games and NACAC combined events hosted over the weekend. On behalf of the news and the production departments, I am Troy Gill. Thanks for watching. Good night.
At Bailey's Funeral Home, we understand the pain and grief you experience when you suffer the loss of a loved one. For years, we have helped thousands of families get through that difficult time by providing professional funeral services to meet their unique needs. Whether your choice is cremation or burial, call us or come into our new facility on the Carenage and meet with our arrangers in a spacious and comfortable environment. Choose from a wide variety of quality coffins and caskets at prices from as low as $1,900. At Bailey's Funeral Home, we believe that no one should feel overwhelmed or anxious about funeral expenses. So when it's time to plan a funeral, join a burial society, or make pre-arrangements when service and costs matter, call Bailey's Funeral Home at 440-2558 or visit us at baileysfuneralhome.org. Bailey's Funeral Home, still providing the perfect tribute any family can afford.
Gerard Timothy Henry, also known as Ayatollah of Birchgrove St. Andrew, who resided at Beaulieu and Happy Hill St. George, passed away on Friday 12th May 2023 at the age of 57. Left to mourn his children Alicia Henry Emmons, Anisha, Anika, Joshua, Akisha, and Amaya Henry. Grandchildren Shanavia Lewis, Trevon and Trevonte Henry, and Aaron Lindsay. Sisters Perpetua France Henry in the United States, Margaret Rose Henry in Grenada, and Hermelin Mazel Henry in Israel. Companion Barbara Duncan, niece Petrina Henry in the U.S., and many others too numerous to mention. Nephew Andre Henry, and many others too numerous to mention. Granduncle of many. Son-in-law Judd Emmons. Cousins Garfield and Compton Caliste and family, Oran Henry and family, Marcia Henry and family, Eric Pear and family, Linus Pear and family, Vaughan Weil and family, the Henry family of Birchgrove, and many other cousins in the United States, England, and Grenada, too numerous to mention. Close friend Lennon. Many other family and friends, including Hazel and Henry, Meralda Moore and family, the Paul family of River Road, the Emmons and Celestine families of Happy Hill, the staff and members of Nawasa, the Duncan family of Happy Hill, Nurse Cador and Nurse Bishop and staff of the Happy Hill Medical Station, the nurses and doctors of the male surgical ward at the General Hospital, and friends and neighbours of Birchgrove, Happy Hill and surrounding areas. The funeral of the late Gerard Timothy Henry, also known as Ayatollah of Birchgrove St. Andrew, who resided at Beaulieu and Happy Hill St. George, will take place on Wednesday 31st May at 1 p.m. Funeral service will be held at the Market Hill Evangelistic Centre St. George, and interment will be at the Wilberforce Cemetery. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home. We are so sorry to announce the sad passing of Mr. Dennis Langdon. His wife and children will be holding a private funeral with just family. The family thanks everyone who has shown Mr. Langdon's support and love throughout his time in Grenada. Arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home.
Myrtle Helen Frederick of Mali St. Patrick passed away on 4th May at the age of 90. Left to mourn are her children, Erlyn and Hilton Frederick, Lyndon and Lyndona McLeod, Iona Farrell, one sister, Olga Inaruba, 15 grandchildren including Sean and others too numerous to mention. Many nieces and nephews including Teresa Frederick, Deslyn, Auntie Anne, Kevin, Linda, Stephen, Curtis, Marjorie, Glenda, Knox, Lynthia, Teresa and Devlin. Her caregivers, Gloria and family, Teresa and family, and Dinsha. Many other relatives and friends including the Frederick family, friends and neighbors of Mali and surrounding areas. Many others in the USA, Canada and England including Kenneth. The funeral of the late Myrtle Helen Frederick of Mali St. Patrick will take place on Thursday, 1st June at 1 p.m. The funeral service will be held at the St. Patrick's Anglican Church, Sater St. Patrick, and the interment will be at the Mali Cemetery. Funeral arrangements have been entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home. Edwin Wickham, also known as Tally and Jet Li of Sab St. Andrew, passed away on Thursday, 11th May at the age of 64. He was the husband of Rosalind Bartholomew, also known as Happy, father of Chanel Wickham in Grenada and Carol Hackshaw in the UK, grandfather of Rhys, Nyla, Tia and Blessings, brother of Verna and Saga in the USA, Leroy in Canada, Rita, Ed, Phyllis, Ray, Vanessa, Danny, and Sheridan, uncle of many including Jasmine, Vanessa, Curtis, Jack, Roylin, Trevon and Shane, nephew of Mary Wickham and Chico. Many other relatives and close friends including Dr. St. Louis, Santi, Louisa, Alicia, Waveney, Kong, Gracie, Brenda Williams, Sunti, the Wickham family of Montrich, Baltazar, Sab, the boys on the block, friends and neighbors of Montrich, Baltazar, Sab, Merbo and surrounding areas. The funeral of the late Edwin Wickham, also known as Tally and Jet Li of Sab St. Andrew, will take place on Thursday, 1st June at 1 p.m. The funeral service will be held at the Merbo Seventh-day Adventist Church, St. Andrew, and the interment will be at the Granborough Cemetery. Funeral arrangements have been entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home.
Augustine Walter Telesford, also known as Beggs, and the missing man of Coles Gap, who resided at New Westerhall St. David, passed away on Saturday, 6th May 2023, at the age of 75. Left to mourn are his wife Anna Telesford, also known as Teacher Anna, children Ricky Red Rat Telesford and Junior Telesford, Antoinette Castle, Roseanne DeGans, Dr. Devon Francis and Kellon Edwards, brother James Lewis, sisters Cecilia Lewis and Cynthia Telesford. He was the stepfather of Janice and Philip George, grandfather of Marquise and Summer Castle, Tricia, Brittany, Ruth, Curtis, Kiana, Kira, Prince, Savannah, Morris, Josiah, Gabriel and Shania. Great-grandfather of 3, father-in-law of Mario Castle, Alana Telesford, Shellon Francis and Gail Noel. Many nieces and nephews including Pearl Ann, Anthea and Carmi. brother-in-law of Stephanie Telesford, Margaret, Lorna, Mary, Keithford, Aliana George, Velma, Pastor Terence George, and others too numerous to mention. Other relatives and friends including the Men and Boys by Beggs Lambing Spot, Angus Steele, Kenneth Prime, Richard and Jonah, and others too many to mention. The Boys by Grand Shop, the communities of New Wester Hall and surrounding areas, the Telesford family of New Wester Hall, Woodlands, Willis, New Hampshire and Windsor Forest, the Licorice family of Corinth and Dudmar, the Antwine family of Brooklyn, New York, the Simon family of New Wester Hall, and many other relatives and friends too numerous to mention. The funeral service for the late Augustine Walter Telesford, also known as Beggs, and the missing man of Coles Gap, who resided at New Wester Hall, St. David, will take place on Friday, 2nd June at 1 p.m. Funeral service will be held at the Petit Buckeye RC Church, and interment will be at the Corinth Cemetery. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home. Raphael John Thomas, also known as Green and Baff, of the Villa Victoria St. Mark, passed away on Sunday 14th May 2023 at the age of 70. He was the father of Cuthbert Charles, Neva, Akeisha, Orsky, and Nadisha Barry, stepfather of Rodney, Ron, Jason, and Wayne Barry, grandfather of Otterson, Mesha, Nathan, Zedhari, Jazinio, Ron, Sean, and Kellen, brother of Maria, Ben, Stephen, Ellen, Yvonne, and Carol in Grenada, Evadine, Ina, Yvette, Daphne, Eugene, Owen, Joseph, Price, and Poxy in the USA, and Philip in Trinidad, stepson of Catherine Scott, nephew of Vic Scott, brother-in-law of Gertrude Thomas, uncle of many including Dave, Antone, Gasson, Wayne, Neela, Maureen, Andy, Marina, Marlene, Andalyn, Stefan, and Gaynell, granduncle of many including Antonio, Garth, Nickel, and Uz. Caregivers Nurse Sheila De Silva, Denisha Phillip, Doreen Scott, and Lankar Charles. Many other relatives and friends including Stephanie Barry, Michael Sylvester, Vaughan Charles, Jerry Ann Barry, Roderick Crosby, Pat Fletcher, Chanel Sylvan, Kellon Paul, Miss Dawn, Merrill Tyson and family, the Scott, Martin, Thomas, and Barry families, Hurricane and the Villa football clubs, past cricket umpires, and friends and neighbours of the Villa and surrounding areas. The funeral of the late Raphael John Thomas, also known as Green and Baff, of the Villa Victoria St. Mark, will take place on Tuesday, June 6th at 1 p.m. Funeral service will be held at the Victoria RC Church, and interment will be at the Coast Guard Cemetery. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home.
Thomas A. George, also known as Mason and Sasae of Guave St. John, who resided at Upper Capital St. James St. Andrew, passed away on Saturday, 13th May, at the age of 88. He was the father of Agnes, Albert, and Felix Lyons, Shirley DeRaveney, and Jeremiah George, grandfather of many including Kim and Jesson Lyons and Kenisa Roberts, great-grandfather of many too numerous to mention, sister of Erica John in the USA, Magdalene O'Brandy in the UK, and Cecilia Clark in Grenada. Caregivers Michelle Bernard and John Renrick. Many other relatives and close friends including Lyons and George families, Clark family, Esther Henry Fleury, the management and staff of the St. Martin Home for the Aged, Mrs. Yolam Bean Horsford, Friends of St. Matthew's Roman Catholic Church in Birchgrove, and neighbors of Upper Capital, St. James, St. Andrew, and Guave St. John's, surrounding areas too numerous to mention. The funeral of the late Thomas A. George, also known as Mason and Sasae, of Guave St. John, who resided at Upper Capital, St. James, St. Andrew, will take place privately. Funeral arrangements have been entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home.
Dawson Darbo, also known as Dorsey Boy, of River Road, St. George, died on Friday, May 19th, 2023, at the age of 67. Left to mourn are his daughters Danielle Hilaire and Denaika Darbo, brothers and sisters Albert, Carl, Cosmas, Evelyn, Glemmer, Gloria, Irva, Jacinta, Maria, Myrna, Nelsia and Teresa, all abroad in the USA, the UK and Holland. Many nieces and nephews, including Glendolyn Grant and Alison George in the USA, Amanda Smith, Keisha Grant and Calvin Grant in the United Kingdom, and Joan Gary in Canada. Many cousins, including Oswald and Janice Darbo in Grenada, Jerry in Trinidad, and Dorette in the USA. Son-in-law Kimani Hilaire. Brother-in-law of many, including Jove Gary and Nesta Maxime. Granduncle of many in the USA, the UK, Trinidad and Grenada. Grandfather of one. Other family and friends, including the Darbo family of Victoria in the USA and the UK, the Maxime family in New York, the Gary family of Westerhall, the Phillip family of River Road, current and former members of the Seamen and Waterfront Workers Union and the Grenada Ports Authority, the management and staff of the St. Martin de Porres Home, Crowshoe, and friends and neighbours of River Road and surrounding areas. The funeral service for the late Dawson Darbo, also known as Dorsey Boy of River Road, St. George, will take place on Monday, June 5th at 1 p.m. Funeral service will be held at the Garden of Remembrance Funeral Chapel, Cemetery Hill, St. George's, and interment will be at the Wilberforce Cemetery. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home. Alice Agneta Foster of Dayforce Springs, St. George, died on Friday 26 May 2023 at the age of 87. The funeral arrangements for the late Alice Agneta Foster of Dayforce Springs, St. George will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home. Anne Bridgman, also known as Auntie Anne of Byland St. Andrew, passed away on Thursday 25 May 2023 at the age of 97. The funeral arrangements for the late Anne Bridgman, also known as Auntie Anne of Byland St. Andrew, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home. Julian D. Augustine of Harmony Hall, St. David, died on Saturday 27 May 2023 at the age of 91. The funeral arrangements for the late Julian D. Augustine of Harmony Hall, St. David, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home. Rosanna Mitchell, also known as Tanti and Miss Rose, of Granton, New Hampshire, St. George, passed away on Friday 26 May 2023 at the age of 79. The funeral arrangements for the late Rosanna Mitchell, also known as Tanti and Miss Rose, of Granton, New Hampshire, St. George, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home. Joycelyn Ringham of Montrose St. Patrick, who resided at Concord St. John, passed away on Friday 19th May 2023 at the age of 88. The funeral arrangements for the late Joycelyn Ringham of Montrose St. Patrick, who resided at Concord St. John, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home. Jason St. Ambrose Barry, also known as Patch of Shantymel St. Patrick, passed away on Saturday 27th May 2023 at the age of 48. The funeral arrangements for the late Jason St. Ambrose Barry, also known as Patch of Shantymel St. Patrick, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home. Matilda Lucina Clouden, also known as Lucina and Center, of Burgles-Carriacou, passed away on Sunday 14th May 2023 at the age of 92. The funeral arrangements for the late Matilda Lucina Clouden, also known as Lucina and Center, of Burgles-Carriacou, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home. Debbie Anderson of Birch Grove St. Andrew, who resided at New Hampshire St. George, passed away on Friday 19th May 2023 at the age of 59. The funeral arrangements for the late Debbie Anderson of Birch Grove St. Andrew, who resided at New Hampshire St. George, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home. Bernadine Doris Jeremiah, also known as Mrs. Doris and Sis Jerry, of Maho Croshew, who resided at Hope St. Andrew, passed away on Thursday, 18th May 2023 in the USA, at the age of 90. The funeral arrangements for the late Bernadine Doris Jeremiah, also known as Mrs. Doris and Sis Jerry, of Maho Croshew, who resided at Hope St. Andrew, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home. Imelda Lena Batiste, also known as Mama, of Chantymel St. Patrick, who resided in London, England, died on Monday, May 1st, 2023 in London, at the age of 67. The funeral arrangements for the late Imelda Lena Batiste, also known as Mama, of Chantymel St. Patrick, who resided in London, England, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home. Carlisle Wilson Joseph, also known as Kaya, of Willis, who resided at Molyneux St. George, died on Monday, 15th May 2023, at the age of 81. The funeral arrangements for the late Carlisle Wilson Joseph, also known as Kaya, of Willis, who resided at Molyneux St. George, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home. Raphael Joseph Mitchell of Café Croshew St. Andrew passed away on Wednesday, 10th May 2023, at the age of 93. The funeral arrangements for the late Raphael Joseph Mitchell of Café Croshew St. Andrew will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home. Pastor Dr. Adrian Leroy Marast, also known as Bill, of Hope City St. Andrew, passed away on Friday, May 5th, 2023, at the age of 75. The funeral arrangements for the late Pastor Dr. Adrian Leroy Marast, also known as Bill, of Hope City St. Andrew, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home.
The management and staff of MTV extend deepest condolences to those of you whose loved ones have passed on. Thank you for watching.
Even if it's not like this, to be very painful during times.
When a loved one passes on, we all need the comfort, support, and guidance of a trusted friend. You can rely on LaCour Brothers Funeral Home. We provide a personalized professional service that exceeds all expectations. Our dedicated staff responds to your every need with the greatest detail, ensuring affordability with a variety of options. Our upgraded state-of-the-art facilities, spacious air-conditioned chapel with live internet streaming, a modern, environmentally safe crematorium, the only of its kind on island, private viewing spaces, large on-site repast center, a modern transportation fleet. Join our burial society today and make personalized arrangements for that final moment. As you prepare to enter your loved one into eternal rest, visit or call LaCour Brothers Funeral Home and select a package that brings added comfort to the entire family. LaCour Brothers Funeral Home and Burial Society, continuing a tradition of excellence.
Holy Natural Spring Water is a water for every occasion. On the field of sports, at your workplace, just open the bottle and savor the pure, refreshing taste. Holy Natural Spring Water is produced in Mama Can St. Andrews and is available in all sizes nationwide. To order, telephone